Hi everybody, I'm Lisa Chavez from Chavez Gallery, and this is a tutorial on victory rolls modified for fine and thin hair like I have. It's also a great way to hide the fact that you haven't had a haircut in 6 months. So let's go. All right, let's get this tutorial started. So I have super fine and somewhat thin hair, and I think that when it comes to vintage hairstyles, people with hair like I have, we get left out because it's just too much of a flop to handle these styles. I have created a modified victory roll style that I can wear every day without teasing, without a ton of hair product, and without blow drying. So I thought I would share that with you. So let's begin. I towel my hair just dry enough to keep it from dripping. And I take some of this Extreme Wetline gel. And this is called gel, and it says extreme hold and all that on it, but it's actually not a stiff gel. I just use it to keep the flyaway situation under control. And I put it mostly just around my face where I'm going to sculpt these curls. So I know that you're not supposed to comb your hair wet, but I have so little hair, I rarely get tangles, so I'm gentle and I typically don't break any off. So this is a 3 curl style. So I start in the center, and you can kind of play with this to determine what looks best for your face. So I get my little section here, and I kind of line up with behind my ears where I pull the hair forward, because that's where my scarf will go later to kind of cover those seams. So I have this wonderful tool. This is called the Roll and Go, and this I always use for this main curl to get it nice and even. So the way this works is you stick the prongs through. I'm using the smaller one here. And then I wrap the end around, and then I just roll it down. So I slide it off and kind of grab that curl. And you can set it where you like it. More flyaways here. You won't really see those because of my hairband that I put on later. So because my hair is so fine, I use small pins. So right here I have some Conair ones, but you can use any brand, whatever suits you, color-wise and so forth. So another thing to know is that these pins, you actually want the shorter side with the bumps on it down. You want it against your scalp, and the flat, smooth side on top. So I start with pinning it at the bottom. I stick it in and I kind of tuck it under so that it's not real visible. And then when I first started doing this, I would have the curl sometimes telescoping out when I didn't need that to be happening. So I've learned to take another bobby pin and just catch the tip of these curls, and then I slide the pin under. So that should withstand any wind. Actually. I feel like this pin is a little too visible, so I'm going to go for it again. So catching the tips of these curls again, and then kind of hiding the pin as I put it in. Okay. So now I'll have to take my glasses off for a moment to catch this hair. Again, I'm sort of parting it on the side here. At home I can get really close to the mirror so I can leave the glasses off, but today they'll have to go off and on. So for this, there's such a thin, tiny amount of hair. I don't really bother with the roll and go for these side curls, they're so small. So I just wrap it around 2 fingers, kind of moving down a little bit as I go so it gets smaller. And then when I pull it off my fingers, I kind of roll the end into the center of that curl a little bit to help it stay tucked. And then I just coil this towards my head. And slide that pin in. And if you get to where you can see through the pin, through the pin curl, you can kind of pinch it between your fingers and roll that hair back so that it fills that in. Okay. And for the other side, I do the same thing, just a little bit lower down. Oops. Winding it around my fingers, tucking that end in. And again, I just kind of coil it towards my head. Grab a pin. Very good. So I tend to, again, with this super, super fine floaty hair, I get these little things happening on the sides, and if I leave it that way, partway through the day, they just get bigger. So that's when the Suavecita actually super hold gel comes in. This stuff is pretty stiff. So I just take a little bit on my fingers. Sometimes I'll add a bit of water to it if it's feeling too sticky. And just use that to cement it a little bit. Make those little hairs grab onto the side of this roll. Okay, really we're almost done here. For the back, I found these items online. It's just a spongy bit. It actually has an opening in the center that you can poke the end of your hair through to help it hold. So I'm going to get my hair pulled through that hole. Since my hair is so fine, it does help avoid it slipping out. So the reason I use this spongy hair filler is because my hair is so fine that if I try to put it up in the back in a neat way, it winds up being just a little nub. not much of a style back there. So this really helps give it a bit of volume, or the appearance of volume. So I tuck the spongy bits under, it's got a wire inside, and then I curl it up at an angle, give it a bit of an arch, as it would if you were rolling your hair in and it was nice and thick. So then This is just a triangular scarf that I have folded the triangle end first so that I have a nice strip to tie into my hair. And this kind of helps to cover up any little fuzzies and the seam between where I combed my hair. A pin to hold it in place. And we're done. And so, let's see. What it looks like in the back. Victory rolls for fine hair in just a few minutes. Well, thanks for joining me today, and if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.